Leave it, Mary. You don't know what's been infected. The lighter our cart, the faster we can leave these forsaken lands behind us.
Not something.
It takes something special to live out here. Something hard. Those without it flee back to the more accommodating walls of Kerrigan.
The whole forest has gone mad.
We're not going out there again.
Sod it. Overgrown vermin. Nay, traveller. The traps of thorn beasts are still in it.
The fly folk. The problem is...
Not in town. Don't have enough energy. Needs time to recharge. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. It needs time to recharge. It needs time to recharge. Needs time to recharge. I need more energy. time to recharge. To recharge. Not ready yet. Need more time. I'm low on energy. I need more time. To recharge. I need more time. I need more time. I need more time. too much.
Let us steal, for when worms feel. Well struck.
We'll sleep.
Bless ye and...
The whole forest has gone mad.
We're not going out there again.
This looks alright, Ma.
There's a horned woman in the moor.
Yes.
That is all. Nefane sees us as intruders stealing from his land. But how does he expect us to survive? We need timber to build, or to forge our weapons, wild game to eat. Truth is, I think his hatred for us goes back to Donan. They were friends once, but they had a falling out.
19 Rare 4, 30,000 miles. Anything to look out for. Oh, there's somebody slammed into him a few months ago. He's in the lane to go straight, and the person next to him decided to make a left in front of him and ran into him. Smashed the front fender and the axle got broken. Melee with that.
Record of legitimacy and service to this country. Many of whom also have shared compelling evidence in the form of photography, official documentation, and classified.
I have some new tour dates to announce. I will be in Toronto, Ontario. And you
feel me? That was happening like every other weekend.
That's like the Wild West, man.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when you coming up in LA, and you young and shit, that shit great.
Yeah. And how do you get into a game? Do you have to like apply or anything, or how do you?
Dude, you gotta apply. I mean, you gotta get jumped on. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. That's you applying. You gotta get.
What?
Yeah, you gotta get jumped on by like multiple motherfuckers.
What do you even wear to something like that?
Me, I had on. Damn, what I had on? I had on like a long ass white t-shirt and some skinny jeans.
Oh yeah.
Not skinny though, but at the time, shit, they would call me skinny. That time.
Yeah. And are you allowed to defend yourself during that, or no? That's not part of it.
Hell yeah, you better.
I don't know if I can do it, bro.
Oh, you can't fight?
I can.
Yeah, so you good.
I don't know though. I can't fight that.
I can.
You can?
Yeah.
Do you miss it sometimes?
What, fighting?
Yeah. I mean, just because now your life is a little different, you know, you don't have to fight as much. I mean, you don't have to battle every day.
No. I feel like I did enough fighting, you know what I'm saying? Back then, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like motherfuckers don't fight no more, you know? Yeah.
It's changed a lot, huh?
It changed a lot.
Yeah, people
It's
just
straight down
unfollow
play.
people.
Huh?
People unfollow people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the, you know, it's like, it's definitely a lot different. Do you look at the younger generation and be like, damn, these cats got it easy? Or do you think they just have it different?
No. I just think it's different because, like, when I was a young nigga, the motherfuckers older than us, like, we'd hate to hear like, all the motherfuckers like, trying to hate them.
Yeah. And what other weaponry would y'all use? For instance, people have some like bats or knuckles, bows.
No, that's NWA type shit.
Yeah, they didn't have
more time.
What's the best type of weapon? Rob somebody. If you're going to
I need
rob
more
somebody,
time.
what's the best?
I need more time.
Got locked up. You got shot before. Dang, bro. I was gonna get shot.
I'm not ready yet.
This is my legs.
No, he's right there. He's not gonna take it back. He's not gonna talk to the man.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't bring that up. But yeah, I think you always want to have experiences that I've never had. I bring up this one back. And I know, but now it's like I don't drink or anything now, so I feel like I would really have to go back into that space.
Like, if you want some crack, no.
Really? You know people that smoke it?
I know people that got it. So let me know what you want to do.
Alright, man. Okay. Take me through that experience of getting shot, man. Is it okay if I ask you about it?
Like, what you mean, take me through?
Like, were you expecting to get shot, or it was a surprise?
The vein. Who are you?
Like, I ran out, trying to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Please think of doing it.
Trying to do
He
something.
is no here.
Coward! You feared
Where
Lilith
did it hit you at?
He was right.
Yeah. Like, you know, like,
Put
you
me
here,
here.
I'm
beyond savior.
dick, like, on top of
All you can do for me is
I got, like, 3 bullet holes.
You still got the bullets in you?
God will help you. Go to the north. She is there.
And did it hurt?
Like, but my shit was like, it's like all flesh. I mean, no bone. None of that. So like, you know what I'm saying? My shit could have been worse. Way worse.
Yeah. And did you go to the doctor, or did you have a friend take it out?
No, I went to the hospital.
Bro, that's heavy, man. Did you feel like it gave you more street credit after that? Like, at that point, do you feel like, man, I think at this point we paid our dues, you know?
Nah, I don't, like, getting shot don't be street food. Like, the motherfucker that's doing the shooting get the street food. But like the situation that happened, like, the motherfuckers who started shooting. About it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And whatever happened to them, did you ever see them again, or see them even online or anything?
Nah, we still be trying to figure out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the coldest shit ever. Because, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, you just on. So you gotta go out. You like have some weird vibes with somebody, and then you'll just think like,
Yeah, man. I can see that easy, being kind of like suspecting everybody.
As if in the midst of hideout residency right now, Grammarly is again in a lifestyle ramification. Helping me write my personal statement and see the Grammarly is your digital writing assistant. All-in-one tool that improves your productivity, triple checks your work, saves you time for working on seconds. Even the free features are incredible. You can set your own writing goals, track your word count, and even find new words to replace your overused ones using the synonym feature. I personally love using Grammarly.
I go to sleep, and I wake up the next morning, and I already have like $30, $40 in that
It's time to
like,
recharge.
that's so cool. Amazon AI is changing business lives. This AI-powered income system, there are no physical products, so
I need
no
more
inventory,
time.
no storage, no shipping. Plus, there are no tech skills needed. Purchase all easy digital assets. Brought to life in the snap of a finger by Amazon AI. Our foolproof four-step system has already helped our students generate over $15 million. And look, tools like ChatGPT are now so powerful, even the best employees, freelancers, and contractors are on the chopping block. But I'm not sweating it, and neither should you. Amazon AI lets you drive the AI revolution to the life that you love. Page backup qualifications. None of it matters. Plus, you can tap into Amazon's over 300 million customers.
I'm not ready.
Hi, I'm Carla Marie, and I want to take you inside Amazon AI and show you how it all works. But obviously, this is an ad, so I'm holding a free workshop you can watch by clicking this link, and I walk you through Amazon AI step by step. We even give you 3 valuable free bonuses just for attending.
This episode is brought to you by Better Help. That's right. I've got therapy, I've got better help. You know, I've had times where I wasn't seeing the world as I believed. You know, and it wasn't just a little thing. It wasn't just something that I did with past. It was gaining momentum inside of me, and it kind of scared me.
More time.
You know, you're struggling, that's all. You have a voice, and you need to use that. You need to get feedback from someone who knows what they're talking about. BetterHelp can help set you up with a licensed professional. That's right, it's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And you can switch therapists at any time with no charge. And I want to iterate that it's super well, it easy. But nothing's changing, then that might not be the best scenario. You can always try and go there. You can go back to the first one if you want. Visit betterhelp.com/THEO today to get 10% off your first month. That's right, that's betterhelp.com/THEO. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you look at music for you now, like how has it kind of evolved? How has rap evolved for you since you like when you look at making a new project? You've had a good vision. I feel like at this point you have a good vision for the industry, you know, a lot of experience. Also, what does it look like when you kind of are trying to put something new together? Project, the whole album, it could be a song, it could be anything.
Project, you can put on top of project.
Let its anger ever burn until it has devoured the whole of its
Hey, when is she coming out?
I'm not sure what we're doing.
Alright, so like, me and Tiger working on a project. You know, approach is just like, scholarship on the phone. It ain't no pressure, it's not no deep thinking, none of that type of shit. It's like, I'm seeing, vibing out, recording, doing all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Creating body work, rapping, I'm saying that's what
Flames
that's like mixtape vibe, you know?
It all flows here.
And then you got the, you know what I'm saying, you got the conception. Right, white pours out green.
I'm not ready yet.
Shit, fly, you know what I'm saying? Listening to
Need more time. I need more time.
That works in the past. We'll talk about that. It's your ownership of your stuff. Your masters, I guess. It's your work, right? Which I think is huge, right? It's one of the reasons why podcasts.
Come to me, spawn of hatred.
And I think the audience love that. They love that they know this is... Nobody's cut this. Nobody has a hand in this except for the person who created it, you know.
There's a creature.
What's that like for you? Because I know you, I've listened to you talk about it a little bit, but where does that kind of come from with that? Because some people don't care.
So I just got like my ownership and all that shit like recently, like, you know what I'm saying? Probably like last year, you know what I'm saying? Like my music, type shit, which is it is what it is, but you know what I'm saying? My shit, me caring about that, me caring about it, it's like now I'm grown as fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
this will do nicely.
It's normal, you know what I'm saying? That's how we moving, like, you know what I'm saying? You hit a certain age and you start realizing certain shit, but like, you know what I'm saying? I started caring about the shit before I was older, cause like Nipsey had a lot to do with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nip used to like,
he'll preach that?
He'll preach that shit, like, bro, he'll preach that shit crazy, like, yeah, like, bro, crazy, and then the brand shit, like, creating your own brand, you know what I'm saying, how to live on longer than you know what I'm saying? He was pushing that line, you know, like, you know, that's when I created my 400 brand. Shit, yeah, that's like probably one of the best things I ever did, you know.
I thought more than horseshoes and nails.
Like,
what you need?
Been owning that. Yeah, so
that's huge.
You know what I'm saying? I was on that shit like back in the day, like 25, 26, but like my deal, you know what I'm saying? I signed when I was 19. You know what I'm saying? I just got out that motherfucker like 2021 type shit, so
not in town.
Now with my music, yeah, like you feel me on the music side of shit, yeah.
You get more inspired because now you can work just for yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm inspired. I feel like I left a whole lot of money on the table. I gotta go, you know what I'm saying, dig that shit.
Said I was disrespectful of you, and the next time I asked you to do the podcast, you said no because it's a hologram.
That's not what happened.
But I felt bad. Hi, this is Howie Mandel. Does stuff on Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz, his daughter.
And I can't tell you how excited we are to have the illustrious Bill Burr in the house. He is
I know, right?
Illustrious.
I've been called a lot of things, but not illustrious.
Isn't it, illustrious is a longer, I took Latin in school, but you illustrate. Isn't that, does it have something to do with illustrate? I think you show us the way.
Illumination. That was my light, my chi.
What's the definition of illustrious?
I don't know. Does somebody know the definition? And you're all, and I don't know if
you used it right though. Like you said it when you were supposed to say it. Like it sounded right. I don't know if it applies.
I don't know if illustrate, you know.
Well known, respected, and admired for past achievements.
And future achievements.
Oh, I like how you said past.
Past.
Yeah, this may be this podcast may be the downfall of everything you've done.
You know what you misused a lot is infamous. And people throw that around. Infamous is famous for a bad reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people all the time, they'll talk like an athlete. The infamous, blah, 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 blah. It's like...
A lot of athletes have become infamous, especially in the
Does it
NFL.
have to be bad? Does it have to be a bad reason?
If you smack your
well,
wife.
if you're famous, yeah, if you're infamous, you're famous for doing something bad.
But why? What? Is that actually... I'm going to be the human dictionary.
Okay.
Is that really what it means?
You're not the dictionary, you're Googling.
I mean, the last time I looked it up, 30 years ago, I think that's what it meant.
That's what it is, for a bad reason. And infamous has become more part of the vernacular because of the internet, and people want to
People just use it like it means famous.
But the point is that the kids today, you talk about how old
these
you are.
40-year-olds, these goddamn kids.
They are the kids.
They are kids.
They are kids.
For me, if you're my age, yes, they are.
Well, I'm a lot older than you, buddy. I got more than a decade.
I know, but the way you accessorize, you know, you just can't really guess your age.
You know, that's become a thematic. You don't know. I don't know if anything could become thematic when it's only the second time. But you walked in the last time. I was looking at our last podcast, and you liked my jacket, and I said I'll give you it, and I forgot to. So on the way out, if you want one of my accessories, you can take one.
No, I'm good.
So you're just bullshitting. You don't like my accessories.
No, I was saying with like the hat, the glasses, the sort of the goatee. Like I'm trying.
Sort of a goatee.
Well, yeah, just behind like the mic. I can't. There we go. All right. Okay. A full goatee. Dare I say, fantastic, illustrious,
wow,
infamous goatee.
What did my goatee do?
I didn't recognize him when he was standing outside. He was like leaning like that. I thought he was the guy that brings you to Howie. I didn't know Howie was a.
I am the guy that brings you to me.
You're a hands-on guy.
I am, but no hands-on. If you know anything about me, there's no hands-on. That's why I'm trying to sell you on my hologram technology. I want to be with
you. Grew up in the Victorian age where you danced with like a piece of paper with a handkerchief between your hand and hers.
I do not know that. Look at this. You know how educational this? We've been on the air for like 3 minutes. They put a handkerchief between when you danced with somebody.
How did you get so jaded?
I grew up with him.
Yeah, you hit me with pass.
Yeah.
Illustrious, what does that mean? And then you go, it's like, wow, just bang, bang, bang.
She actually had one play date with Nia. They're the same age. And, you know, for those that don't know, his father-in-law was my manager. His father-in-law got me my first cable special.
That's amazing.
He did. On Cinemax, Ben Hill. Ben Hill got
the clothes off.
Cinemax was different then. It's not like
it was classy.
It's pre-OnlyFans.
It's the original Criterion show.
Yes, but the reason I'm saying, and I was probably using it wrong, but illustrious illustrates what one can do. I find you one of the most fascinating people in the world. I think you're like a movie to me, and I'll tell you why. Because you're like a Star is Born. Every little kid. Nope.
That drunk guy messing up the Grammys.
Not that sure.
He's like Gaga.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and maybe it's a bad analogy, but as a little kid, you dream that you want to do something. When I grow up, I want to be a pilot. When I grow up, I want to be a drummer. When I grow up, I want to be a comedian. When I grow up, I don't know how many things this kid said, but you do everything you've ever dreamed of, and to the nth power. To be a comedian, I knew you. The first time I saw you and worked with you, it was on Tough Crowd.
We did just last Toronto. Okay, so you fucked with me before I went out there.
More time.
Yeah, in a funny way. And I was like, because I was nervous. I said, and then you were like, you diffused all of my nervousness by just breaking my balls. Like, you made me feel like we were just both comedians.
I don't remember that, but I do remember
it. To me?
Not more memorable. But here's what I remember. I remember, like, if people said, do you know Bill Burr? I said, yeah, he's a really funny comedian. He's a really funny, there's a lot of funny people. And you hope that everybody achieves their dream. But you for the most part. For the most part. I don't wish negative on anybody. I just don't think about a lot of people. But I thought you were like this journeyman comedian who was really funny and really witty. And then what happened, and I think this is like a movie in my mind, is you did this one gig that was going so fucking south that you started just going crazy. It's a big viral. Everybody has seen it. it started going south, and you started just fucking shitting on the audience wonderfully, in a flow, in a free-form rap flow of comedy that just catapulted you to the next level and made you. And don't you think that was like a mark in your career that
was definitely a step, yeah. Dude, it took me like 25 years. I had a nice, slow ascent. So, you know, let me, if I were to go through all of it, you know, just, I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning, but but getting on the Opie and Anthony show, and they used to, you know, how they would pay you is they would advertise your gigs. So whatever market they were in, you started selling tickets. So they were huge for me. And then that incident happened, and I thought that was gonna like be the end of my career. Everyone was just gonna boo me. That more got me respect from other comics, to be honest with you. But then
here's what I was saying.
Special. Do another special, do another special, do another special, do another special.
But every time you did the specials, so I knew you before that happened. When that happened, you're right, amongst comedians, people were always saying, you gotta see this, you gotta see this. And you became the comedian's comic. You gotta see that. But then you got specials, but even when you got specials, and even today on the podcast, people talk about that moment. I think that moment, if you were going to write a movie, and you write movies, you should write your own life story, because it's amazing. Is that, you have a movie coming out in a few weeks.
I'm not allowed to promote it.
Am I?
If you're in SAG, you're not allowed to talk about this stuff. We're just waiting for us to lose our apartments and houses.
I think somebody actually said that.
That somebody was dumb enough to say that?
No, I've read those articles. For those that don't know.
Someone probably said it, and we're losing some of the context, and it was spread. You don't think so?
I don't know.
I do think that
I think that's what's going to happen.
They don't. Yeah, I do find it weird that how much trouble you can get in for a joke, but you could just have like this unstoppable, insatiable greed. Just the whole concept of a corporation that every quarter you have to make more money or else you're a failure. I don't understand like how these CEOs can just give themselves bonuses. It's like, is that just like legalized stealing from the company? It's not the shareholders always seem to have a problem when they're doing something that just bullshitting and you're talking and you're having a good time and you can curse and all of this stuff. There was a freedom to it. I didn't have some boss breathing down my neck because I had a couple of those desk jobs. And I'm like, these fucking guys looking over my shoulder. It's like, I heard what you said. I'm gonna do it. Fuck off, you know? So
you didn't have a customer looking over your shoulder going, these fucking weeds. You were supposed to pull these weeds. No?
No, I had a couple bad ones like that. When I was doing window washing, remember that? I just remember this woman, like, she had, like, we were just washing the windows. She had paint on her fucking window. We didn't say we were gonna get the paint off, right? She just kept sending us up the ladder, and every time we would start to be like, lady, we got paper towels, and like, this is my buddy's business. We were like, 19, 20. We had paper towels in like Squeegee bottles, right? And every time we would try to debate with her, she just go, ah! I still remember it. And I was like, I am gonna fucking grab you by your fucking neck.
Not supposed to kill you. Anyway, the point is that you were that kid in Massachusetts who was trying to get the fucking paint off the window, who was trying to get the weeds off the lawn, and now you're at Fenway Park, the green monster. You're a baseball fan. Are you not a baseball fan?
Yes.
Yes. So I would imagine as a kid you went to ball games there, and like this is like American pastime, just a kid from Boston in this. I think it's like the Coliseum of America, in the Coliseum, and now you're...
What's funny about that gig? Which I loved. Whenever I go back, I just walk around.
Needs time to recharge.
Something's changed. I just, I put good luck. So I kind of felt like, people behind me, which I really needed to. I went out,
like you're in the Red Sox.
I went out with like Tony V, and we just had the best time, magical night, smoking cigars up at right field as people were walking out waving. We couldn't believe that it happened. And my agent booked me in Toronto the very next day. Like I didn't even get the chance to take it in. Like literally, like not even 12 hours later, it's just like, please remove all your laptops out of your bags. And no liquids, no laptops. And then I was just on to Toronto, so I actually talked to him about that recently. We had a good laugh about that. He's just like, he said, I just want to maximize your time out there. I go, well, doing that, or we pay for your beach house? What's going on here? Well, I love paying for this stuff like that. So,
well, your agent, if you go to,
if I really felt that shit, yeah, I would be with him, but I love him. But
who's your agent?
Time to
I don't want to say his name.
Don't say his name because people will book him. Yeah. But if you go to, I think it's billboard.com, is that your ticket? I like that you can follow your tour, and your tour is consistently, arenas now. You're an arena act. You're an international, and there's you have a separate.
I have an outfit change. I change outfits in the middle of it.
You're like Cher.
Different. Each joke, each song is a different outfit. Each joke's a different outfit. Different sparkly scarf.
A sparkly scarf. That is Bill Burns' sparkly scarf in one sentence. In one. Have you ever worn it? You do?
Yeah. You look like a sparkly scarf.
You would wear a sparkly scarf.
Yeah, this is a big part of the people. I am really silly. People think I'm just this angry lunatic, but like, that's why I love acting. Is you just get to all of that stuff you get to do is just
get you one step closer to that sparkly
scarf. Yeah, why not? Oh, and wear it and just watch you guys sit there uncomfortably and not change my demeanor, but yet have it on. Just have it on.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I did. I got thrown off a show. I got thrown off a show. I think it was for Apple or I don't know what it was. It was a digital show, and I thought it was funny. They every time they broke, there was this really manic makeup person. Just broke away, ready to go, rolling, no, and she would run in and powder. So I took a spray bottle in the back, and I sprayed myself, just fucking dripping, and soaked the front of my shirt, and I sat down to do the interview, and they went, hold, sweating. I go, no, I don't like that. And I was doing the whole interview. I have a picture of myself. Should have maybe put it, but I'm just soaked. And the interview would concentrate. But I love
it. They never said anything? It's fantastic.
I feel like that's your favorite.
My favorite sense of humor is
He's gone on like talk shows with wigs and won't tell everyone that he's on.
Jimmy Kimmel once with a wig, and I told my publicist that if he can't mention it, the second producer can't mention it, nobody, so that they would think that I'm all of a sudden I'm wearing a hairpiece. I just don't want to mention that I'm on it. And it just went by. It just, you could find me on Jimmy Kimmel with wearing a hairpiece. For me,
I can't commit to, I get to the point that tension's too much and I have to like let people.
Really?
Why?
Next talk show, you gotta have a smartly stuff. And not say
You don't ever just do jokes for you, like you're the only one in on the joke.
Yeah, but then I let people in to let them know.
So then you're not the only one on the joke.
That's the problem my wife has with people, because she'll go like, who's the joke for? And I always say for me. And you know that
No,
adage.
sometimes I will say something to my wife joking, and then 6 months later she'll be like, you know, you said that really hurt my feelings. I go, oh, that was a joke. She goes, you didn't tell me that, because I have like a real matter-of-fact delivery sometimes.
You do.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like I'm joking, like, and sometimes I'm making the joke because I'm actually thinking of something else, so I just say something ridiculous. I don't know.
I love, for me, I was saying there's an adage, if you can make one person laugh, you're doing your job. For me, honestly, it is just me. If I can make myself laugh, I'm happy. If nobody in the room is laughing, if it's quiet.
You know what some woman said to me?
No.
I was at this thing, this event, right? And I was sitting there, and a couple people, this beautiful woman. They were like these little, it was a Hollywood Bowl, these little boxes, this beautiful woman. And like 2 or 3 people had come up to me and got like a picture. So she looked at me, she goes, she had this weird accent, she was just like, you know, why do people want to get a picture with you? Like, who are you, or whatever? And I forget what I said. I made a joke and about myself, and I laughed. And she goes, you amuse yourself. It was one of my favorite things this year that anybody said. I died laughing. I was just like, I do amuse myself. I say shit and I make myself laugh. But like, she didn't, whatever joke I made about myself, she didn't laugh at all, and she just
makes it better.
It was fantastic. It should have been like in a movie. Like, I felt like it was in like a spy movie, you know, where there's always the character that doesn't know he's hanging out with spies. Because she had, like, she was beautiful and had the accent. She had like this spy vibe. She just goes, you amuse yourself.
I love it. So that's what I do. But your achievements, do you sit back ever and go, listen, I'm flying fucking helicopters. I'm not only gonna fly them, but I'm gonna pick them up, rebuild them, sell
That
them.
hasn't happened yet. Like this, it's a weird time.
But you fly helicopters.
Yes.
What hasn't happened?
I haven't been able to find one.
No, not that. That's not my point, to find one. My point is that you're in a helicopter, you fly helicopters, you're playing Fenway Park in front of 35,000 people. You have the ability to drum. You're meeting your heroes.
You can make a grilled cheese sandwich.
You're doing it all.
You're doing it all.
But you
You're
are.
illustrious.
People, you have to realize, because I'm so immersed in mental health as that people look for every reason to be unhappy, and they look for every reason to explain what they haven't achieved and why, and if they just get this, they think they'll be happy. I feel like you check every fucking box you ever want to check, and we don't see people doing that. You don't never stand back and go, I got a fucking helicopter. I'm playing baseball arenas. I'm world renowned. There's one beautiful girl at the Hollywood Bowl that has no fucking idea who I am. But that's basically.
No, I'm actually a lot of people don't know. It's cool. You can walk down the street. You can still do all of this stuff. No, I don't. I don't.
I'm directing movies that I'm not allowed to talk about.
No, I don't think about that stuff. I just think about. I think about doing the job. I enjoy it and all of that type of stuff, but I don't stand back and breathe my accomplishments in. I think that would be the end of it. Like, and then I did like.
But you just. That's
that is one of my favorite things though, is when like people do like those photos of themselves. They'll be like they'll be at an airport in front of a private jet with all this high-end luggage and all their cars. The thing is, you can't ever look at the camera on that photo. You always have to be, you always have like, just looking on to that next thing, man.
Don't do
blah,
that,
blah,
man.
blah. I had, the dreams I had when I started are not the dreams I have now. So that's another thing. I think shit that you think you want, and you realize like, oh, is that what the sacrifice is? I don't want that. Or I thought I wanted that, now I'm doing it. I'm not into this shit. I'll do something else. So,
but that's part of the journey.
Right.
But you talked about.
I'll tell you right now, the greatest thing. Everything you just said there. None of that compares to swimming in the pool with my kids. My kids are 6 and 3. That is the greatest. Of all the fun things I've done as a dad, because my little one, like, so looks up to his sister that every time he comes up from under the water, he's like smiling to see where she. It's just like the pure joy of like a 3-year-old. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't want to do stand up anymore. I just want to. I mean, I've run out of money, but I just want to stay home and hang out with these kids. So that's what
beautiful.
So that is everything you're saying. I find is the bigger this stuff got, the smaller I wanted my life to be. So I have a little back porch that I essentially live on. I read books out there. If it wasn't for the fucking weed whackers, it'd be a goddamn paradise. But every time I go to sit down out there, the second I open a book, somebody's got somebody working on it.
Well, there's a new routine. Does your comedy come out of frustration and anger? Is that the seed of a routine?
I think a lot of my earlier stuff, up to about 6 months ago, a lot of my earlier stuff did, and I think now it's I don't know, it's a lot. I think it's a lot sillier. I don't know. People always,
But on your last special, which is Red Rocks, right? The brilliance of you kind of tackling the inanity. Will you Google it? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
The infamous.
Well, it's just a name. Well, just you were talking about abortion, and the fact that you were able to straddle both sides with, I thought, the most brilliant take on it yet. Of whether it's alive, the baking routine. I'm not.
Oh yeah. No.
Those are fucking brilliant. But it's like, I always think that it's an incredible.
You knew where that came from?
Where?
Well, I would say from some of my therapy and mushroom trips that I've done. I would say that has to do with not getting affection growing up, so not wanting to receive it. So you sort of piss off both sides so you can stay in your comfort zone. Right, everybody's kind of like, yeah, don't fucking like this guy. Fuck this guy. He's pro. What? I'm not pro. Whatever. I gotta do. Maybe that's.
You straddle both sides. You really straddle both sides.
Yeah, because you know why? I don't have any answers, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm so goddamn sick of one of the number one ways you know that you're a fucking idiot is that you think you know shit. That is just the number one thing. Like the confidence that mouth-breathing fucking morons have. The fucking confidence is astounding. It's it's limitless. Limitless. They'll criticize NASA.
Is it also just a safe way to write a joke because you're by pissing off both, you're not necessarily taking a single stance?
No, that's what people on either side are. You faggot centrist. Like the stupid schoolyard. And it's just like, it's actually the opposite, because now you kind of pissed off both sides, so nobody likes you, which is my favorite thing, is to do that, but then get them back. Because there was a thing when I was coming up, there was this whole, this badge of honor of comics. He walked the room, man. There was 300 people in there, by the time we get up stage, it's fucking tree. It's just like, this. Once they leave...
Meaning they stood up and left.
They left. Because they were so outraged or whatever. But it's like, dude, once they leave, the fun's over. The fun is the way he does it. The way you got this thing, the way you do it is you fucking, you annoy and you fuck with people, and they feel like they should leave, but then you also have this thing, well, I don't want to miss something. Like, so it's this push-pull thing. If you just, like, straight up piss them off, and they just stand up and fucking walk out. Once they're out the door, then you're left with everybody that agrees with you. Like, where's
we all piss them off, but you want to piss them off with finesse. You can't just piss somebody off. You want to entertain them, but they're going to walk out angry. But that was good. But
I trashed Biden, right? I trashed Biden, and then all the Trump people go nuts.
Right.
And then I always go, I'm not saying this in a pro-Trump way, and then I make fun of Donald Trump.
Right.
My favorite thing to do is make fun of, how he says he's a good businessman. You know what I mean? Every casino I've ever performed at, he's going bankrupt. He's literally in a casino town and kicking Trump. So I just do that. I do that, and I come out of it, and I kind of like, I am not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be like divisive. I'm trying to get,
maybe bring us together by seeing the flaws on both sides.
Well, boy, have an hour where everybody's just sort of like just realizing everything is just kind of ridiculous. Like the whole thing's ridiculous. Nobody's 100% right. 100% wrong. It's also fucking stupid. And it's stupid, and it's designed to fail. That's
Our world?
Yes.
Wow, that turned dark. We're designed to fail?
Yes, and I blame God. No, a lot of people don't.
Do you believe in God? Are you religious?
I was, and then I wasn't, and now I am again.
What happened?
I got past organized religion. I was like, this is always them trying to explain what they didn't understand. So they don't understand it. Just because they don't understand it, or they use it in the wrong way, doesn't mean that it's not there. So I'm trying to have my own,
cult? Is that really a scratch on your forehead from a child, or is that a mark?
It was a ritual. No, I'm kind of just having my own. I'm just kind of having my own thing. All right, whatever my idea of it isn't any better than your idea, isn't any more right or wrong, and
If you
which
didn't
idea?
see urine outside,
I want to hear your idea.
we'll
my
settle
idea.
the
I
work.
just think that it's like
When was the last time
the
you
Earth
saw
is
him?
more like his
We were discussing what happened to Erida.
just like sort of an artist,
And then
right? And then he just
Lilith
designed
stormed
these
the
things
keep.
to
I
fuck
look
with
at
each
some
other
guys
for
like
religious
so.
order. You know what I mean?
I should have
You think God as a comedian?
stayed with him.
No, it doesn't always. It's not always fun.
I don't
The
think
jokes aren't always landing.
I don't think he cares. That's my thing. I don't think that he cares what happens to you. If he cared, he wouldn't make serial killers, which he does. He does make serial killers, and I'm sick of him pawning that off on the devil, because he also created the devil. That is also his creation. So shouldn't he just handle that? Like, why doesn't he just handle that shit? Why do we have to deal with it? Why is there this big fucking test?
Well,
It doesn't make any fucking sense. The whole thing is fucking stupid. The whole thing is fucking... If you just look at animals, what do animals do? Nothing. And then you look how some are just out there with teeth like mine, running next to these monsters, and they get ripped apart and eaten alive. And he made that too. So, like, he's not... I don't think he's like the most, chill dude.
But you've become so spiritual since the last time we talked.
Possible reason would you have?
I was expecting that take.
But it's a beautiful take. You should open up the Church of Burr. The Church of Burr.
Yeah, I don't understand why he drops you in this cesspool, and then shit happens to you, and then at the end of your life he's yelling at you like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? It was what you made. It was what the fuck you made, and I ran into all those fucking assholes. I don't want to be like this. Think I want to be a fucking angry lunatic?
Well, I think... it's funny.
Maybe if you tried a little harder with some of the people in my life when you made them, you lazy cunt. Instead of fucking working 6 days and putting your feet up and that's it, let the thing just go where it's gonna go. And then it's my responsibility, this little fucking speck on this fucking planet. Go fuck yourself. I'm not really saying it to him, I'm saying it to like all organized religion. I don't want to
So you believe in a fucking
I believe that God is everything.
I'm with you.
And he's also a cunt.
Shouldn't we put that in the liner, in the thumbnail? We found God. He's a cunt.
But I do believe that the only power that you do have is to try to be nice to people. That's really, at the end of it, that's all you have.
Wow, that is a great ending to that rant.
Yeah.
God's a cunt, so be nice.
I don't have to go down to his level. This is where the ego comes in. I put myself above God, and then I start my cult.
But I think we're pretty similar in our beliefs. I've kind of moved away from organized religion. And because organized religion is disorganized, it's just this group of people. It's people. As soon as you get in organized religion, it's not about God. It's not about a power greater than us. It's about this building that they've built and the rules that they put in place so that you can follow these buildings. And every building has different rules. But what we can all agree on is there is a power greater than what we can see and feel right now. I mean, and you just said it, looking in, sitting on your back porch, looking at those beautiful creations in the pool. These were created from something bigger than we can even articulate. So I think the key to life, in my opinion, is to be nice, which is putting it very simply.
Which is considered weak. That's how fucked up we are.
Really, was Mother Teresa weak?
Or she was a cunt. I saw a funny T-shirt the other day. That sounded like, remember the $10,000 pyramid where they would be giving out clues?
Yeah.
It said gods, guns, and guts. It just felt like $10,000 pyramid with the clock ticking down.
Yeah.
Gods, guns, guts. It's like the three things that ruin a peaceful society.
Right.
And now there's gonna be a bunch of gun nuts going like, oh, you remember World War II? I do. How did it start?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But what I'm saying is we need to be there for other human beings, and we need to be nice, and we need to be fearful and respectful of a power greater than we can describe, and know that it's bigger than us.
I don't need that motivation. That's what always bugged me.
But
there's this guy, and he's fucking mad at you.
I'm not saying it's a guy. As a Jew,
it's 100% a woman. It's 100% a woman because God takes no responsibility for his actions. 100% female behavior.
I'll read the comments. But
I read an article with the Hollywood Reporter that you just want to be liked. Don't you get worried that these jokes or anything, you're not going to
These are jokes. These are
When the fuck did I say that?
You said that you want approval.
You did?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you.
You said that you're always looking for approval. There's a misconception about you. Yeah.
Oh, I have to read what they said. But they talk to you for like an hour, and then they slam it into this, and they just, it's never really what you said. So I don't.
But the truth, even without that article, to get up and to talk publicly, or to show up in a podcast, it's because we being people who have made this choice in life to.
No, mine was beyond that. After doing mushrooms, I realized the reason why when I became a comedian is the easiest way to go into a room full of strangers and get them to like me so no one would hurt me.
So that is.
That's the answer.
That's being liked.
I think that's more of like the abuse.
Were you bullied?
I was both. I bullied some kids and I was bullied. Like I had some fights or whatever. But like when I get puberty late, so junior high, I went from one of the tougher kids to not
more time.
All of a sudden being like 6 inches shorter than everybody else. That sort of sits with you too. I think then you just sort of see yourself as that kind of the rest of your life. There's a lot of like truths, in your childhood that just sort of just lunge, whether they are or not. Like I remember one time I worked with this comedian, just a fucking dumb 6'6", just had this like childlike thing about him. He would get mad. It reminded me of Dirty Dozen. Remember Posey? Giant fucking guy. No, it's a movie from 60 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so he got so mad, this guy was pushing him, he turned around, he punched him in the jaw, and the guy's jaw to his brain. And that was on that. So he had like this vibe about the guy, and I finally talked to him, but it turned out even his growth spurt planned. It was a bully. And I was trying to wrap my head around it, because he's like former football player, 6'6", fucking gigantic, right? And then we were like later on in the tour, I saw him writing. This 6'6" guy was his couch curled up like Indian style, And I literally saw that little kid, and he's just writing the jokes, and like that's how he sees himself. It was kind of unsettling because I was like, he doesn't understand. It's like like a Great Dane thinks it's like a Yorkshire Terrier, right? He comes bounding in the room and jumps on you, and just realizes it's like a little horse.
But I think that we're all stuck in whatever knows. Sitting next to you is your pilot, is your doctor, is the idiot. It doesn't matter what they've done. Or is that child that you see in the corner. Right. Don't.
No, that was like my teens when I'd see it like a guy 25 years old with a mustache.
And then you find out it's a is that a transition or is that a do you think about things are you a big editor in your own mind?
No, I am master ADD, so I hide behind the editor. It's just how it comes out. It's what it is. I just have to keep marching forward. And if I have to, so that's why I like editing process.
Time to recharge.
I can only sit there for so long. I have to do one laps around the room. Come back in like 7 minutes. At some point, I have some
Need more time.
Just
I know you're not allowed to talk about it. I'm not going to make you talk about it. I can't wait to see your movies coming out. Scarf. What? Oh, see, I thought just smart. Well, if there are touches, it's going to last. He wrote correctly. And he can't speak of it.
How do those rules work? Allowed to talk about it?
I don't think I'm even allowed to talk about it. I don't even know sex.
No, I'm just saying.
They're not gonna pay us.
But I mean, even if it's not a promotion, but you just saying that you can't wait to see it, is that considered a promotion?
Probably. You just got me in trouble.
Sorry, I don't know.
You know, but
Isn't it kind of murky waters a little bit?
I don't think it's murky. The point is that you don't want
women have such a problem with their diets. They're always looking for a gray area. Yeah. It's like, no, eat this, do this, it'll work. I don't know, it's just feeling like having an ice cream.
It's really not murky.
Play it with me.
Oh boy. No, it's not murky. We're not allowed to promote it, but I'm fascinated by, and you don't want to put money in the pockets of people who have made it a business of not treating everybody incredibly fairly. Right?
I get it.
Does that make sense?
I just didn't know the rules.
Well, the murkiness is in my own head and maybe his head because...
No, I read the thing and I was like, all right. Because I was showing a movie trailer before my shows, so we had to get rid of that. It's like, I don't want to do that. The comedian I was working with, she's like, I don't feel comfortable promoting this. I'm like, oh my God, you're right, I can't do this. So,
wait, you're not even showing the trailer before your live shows? Wow. That's...
I believe in unions, man. What people don't remember is people died. Like, to create all of these unions, like, if you read some of the shit, like, that happened in the 1800s during the Industrial Revolution, they had fucking kids working in factories, and like, the level of abuse. So then they had to, like, they started, you know, striking, and then they had strike breakers come down there with bats and guns and killed these people, and they didn't get prosecuted because they were on the side of the rich people, and the politicians didn't do shit about it. And then we finally got unions, and I feel like that created the middle class. I might be wrong. And in my lifetime, corporations were like, all right, well, we're just going to move productions outside the country. Have fun with your union. And I'm not saying unions were totally innocent, too, because, you know, they got power and they abused it or whatever. It's just human. It's just
like organized religion.
It's human behavior. It's human behavior. You get a little power, even if you're a victim, then you start becoming the abuser. Because of him. That's how he made it.
Or her. The cunt.
Or they. The cunt. Let's call it the cunt.
The big C.
The big C in the sky.
Do you believe in the big C in the sky?
Big C in the sky.
Jeremy, how are we going to handle this when we edit this together? Does this get bleed? Does this get...
I don't think so.
Oh, you guys don't curse on this?
Pardon me?
You guys don't curse on
this?
this?
I'd love to. I'd love to curse on this. But I don't know what happens. Do they, cunt? Is it okay? I'm just worried about the religious people. I'm not really worried about the religious people.
They'll be mad at something else in 3 days.
So, hopefully, this strike will be over before... Are they holding your release? Can you say that?
Need more time.
Oh, there's murky waters?
No, because they seem to be such different different skill set. I mean, to be a director or a writer versus, you know, standing there in front of a crowd spewing your art. Do you like stand up and performing this? I
What is enjoyable?
Easiest. Oh, so what is the most enjoyable?
I like writing as much as I like performing. Even though writing is a little more tedious, it's the rewriting that, you know, that I don't enjoy when it's not working. But like, and I actually enjoy writing stuff for other people. And I like writing, like, you know, when I wrote this thing I'm not allowed to talk about, or I will just say in general, when I sit down to write something, I want every actor to be excited about their scene, about what they have. I don't want to have anybody just
time to recharge.
I want to have everybody, there's something interesting about each person, so it gives the performer a platform to add to it, to do like their thing about it, so that they're going to come down to set, and then I can be like, yeah, I wish I had a bigger part, or I hate my character. You ever work with the actor that's doing that? That's fun to be across. Fucking hate my character.
Are you good with taking notes?
Dude, you can give me a line read. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it. What do I have to say to get out of here? That's how I look when I'm on stage. What do I have to do so you feel that you have this, so we can turn the camera around?
Really?
Oh my god.
So you have no attachment to what you sat there, as you said, incredibly ingeniously, you know, and put this together in what you believe is the...
Only if it's not working, but if they're doing it and alright, that's how they want to do it. I don't do that thing like I heard the joke in my head this way. I think you're talking about music. Like taking notes.
I'm talking about your script and your project that you do other things. You talk about.
If I think it's a stupid note,
studio notes.
If their studio gets, people always act like every note they give mistakes. It's not true. Studio's just like meetings. There's good ones, there's bad ones, right? As far as like executive, some people give good notes, some people give bad notes. Some people just give notes because the meeting's going to end and they didn't say anything. Right. So now they feel they have to say something. They just sit there and just talk, and now I have to sit here and act like this is an actual fucking note. So you get credit for having a fucking text, right? I don't enjoy it, but like, I had somebody younger read something that I wrote one time and said, this is a great movie for a 50-year-old. And I immediately got upset. And I was just like, no, he's right. He's right. I need to have younger people. That's what he said, get it. Ended up being a great note. My ego couldn't handle it in the beginning. But when I thought about it afterwards, then it balanced the script. And then it made it
time to recharge.
That's great. So you're not ego-driven as much as...
I'm going home. Let's
not ego, ego.
Home. Yeah. Let's just work on, like, what do you want? And I'll do my version of it. And we just push it on. It's just, I don't give a fuck. What do you want me to do? I'll just do it. But I haven't had a lot of those
time to recharge
situations. But I just do work. I do kind of make sure I kind of, early on, I went to director.
You were the director.
No, I'm saying it like that.
Oh, I get that. And that's you going home. But what I'm saying is that, you know, as a comedian, you know, when in the moments that you're inspired, you can come up with ideas, and then you have that 90 minutes at night to kind of spew that, but you have the whole day to just do whatever you want to do. You just said you enjoy walking around Boston and looking at buildings that you remember, and you can do that. When you are the writer, producer, and director of a film, there is nothing more consuming. Your whole life, you have to make decisions. The department will walk up to you and go, "Do you like the way I comb this? The way it's the opposite of a comic's life. It is like the most immersed, consuming."
It was a lot, but I had a lot of help. You know, I remember watching early on something I learned. I remember Jerry Seinfeld, and he was talking about, he was making fun of his acting. And it was early on. He was saying what he said, I'm not that good at it, but I was smart enough to surround myself with actors that are so good. remember that going like, that's a really smart thing that he did. That takes, you gotta be humble to be able to do that, to see that about yourself, and then allow people to help you. So that's what I did. I just made sure I had, when I was in that situation, that everyone around me, like I didn't write, I'm not allowed to talk about this thing, but like I didn't, whatever we are talking about, I wasn't.
I hope I'm not pushing you in a direction you're uncomfortable with.
But I mean, I had a lot of help.
I'm just talking about in general, the idea. I'm not talking about that thing, and I don't want to push it. And I'm for the union too, so I don't want to push that. But I'm just talking about in your life, you have decided to do different things. You've decided to spend moments being a pilot, spend moments writing a movie and directing a movie. It's not the first time. Is this the first time you've directed?
Yes.
Okay. But even producing, so you produce, this is a different discipline than being a comedian. This is a different discipline than pursuing a hobby.
It ended up being fun, and it was something I never had any desire to do, but it was because of the pandemic that all of these projects got put on hold, so no directors were available. So then it started coming around, on this certain project. And that's what happened.
We could talk about why you didn't feel there was a part for me.
I didn't feel you were going to show up. I thought you were going to show up and send the hologram instead.
Wouldn't that be an interesting character trait?
Do you know what I thought? Because I was supposed to do a podcast in Montreal. And I found out he wasn't going to be there, and I was going to be talking to you as a hologram. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. So
you called me the night before.
Hell yeah, I'm not fucking doing that, right? So, but I thought you were going to be like all like pixelated, like a Star Trek episode. I didn't realize you were going to look that real. You just showed me the Ellen DeGeneres one when she was in the store. That was amazing.
Thank you. It is something, and it's also gives somebody the ability to be in more than one place at one time. And maybe when you're allowed to talk about it.
That's a great script.
Okay.
That's a great script.
I'll write it with you.
You commit a fucking murder. You're like, what are you doing, man? I was in the funny mode. Fucking together. The first hologram murderer.
That's a good idea. Talk about that after
Somebody's going to use it as an alibi and try to play it off that was actually them in that Applebee's hologram. Well, the second you can disguise the big white box and actually put some hero shit around.
They can.
I can.
Yeah. It's a white box. It's windows in the H&M stores in Brooklyn. It's right now. So it looks like people are in the windows.
So how could you hologram yourself to fucking Niagara Falls, acting like you're taking a selfie like you're there, and then you kill your business partner in LA and you're like, I wasn't there, here's my selfie, I was in Niagara Falls.
I use it for meet and greets, but you can.
drums as much as I love playing drums. When I would go to a music store, I always tell this story. I would go in and I would see some kid half my age sit down at the drums and pick up a guitar, and you could see he was expressing himself already. He had it, and I was like I was trying to figure out what he was doing. I just knew. It was just like you enjoy drums. You're a fan of music, but you are not a musician. This is not your calling. So I just kept going around. I'm like, all right, suck at that, fuck that.
Do you really think you suck at that, or you didn't put your time into it? Like you didn't have this, like you're a fan of drums.
I mean, I think that I could have gotten to like, you know, being a wedding band, maybe a cover band. I mean, if I played enough, I have enough of an ability that I could sound all right. But like, I gotta be honest, one of my favorite things ever is when you just hear a professional drummer just sit down and kid just to hear what they sound like. There is a different sound when a professional drummer.
Who's your favorite drummer in the world?
Oh God, I can't even answer that. There's so many. There's just so many. And there's just so many different types of music. And
you're a metal band fan.
I know, but I like I love I saw Dave was with the Crooked Vultures, John Theodore. I saw the Queens of the Stone Age, Steve Jordan, who's the Letterman drummer and played Keith Richards' band. Now he's in the Stones. It's a huge one for me. Vinnie Paul, Alex Van Halen, Phil Rudd, Elvin Jones.
So you're
Tony Williams.
You're just gonna name everyone.
Yeah.
You're just gonna name
because they all have like, and then what's fun is trying to see how they all fit in the puzzle of like, oh, you know, trying to guess, you know, listen to who or whatever. So
it's kind of drumming. I would imagine. I don't know a lot about music and drumming, but I would imagine it's like comedy. You know, you could mention all the different comedians, but no two comedians are alike. They have that rhythm. They have their sense of humor. They have their uniqueness. And the way you're describing that, there's just a lot.
And then there's the mainstream accessible ones, and then there's the comic ones, and then there's the guys who are like, you know, there's just so many. It's just like with music, like anybody who doesn't play drums kind of knows Keith Moon, knows John Bonham, knows like those main guys. But then you get people with music, and then drummers, and it's sort of like this whole like pyramid of stuff, and all of them are necessary. Pop music, it's all necessary.
Have you got the opportunity of sitting with a band that you like and drum with a band that you like?
Yeah, I've sitting with people that I like wasn't necessarily in the band. Yeah.
And is it recorded?
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the crazier ones was I got to play with Duff and Slash for Guns N' Roses, and I didn't know it was going to happen.
Is that on YouTube right now?
It's somewhere out there, yeah.
Let's look at it.
Don't play that, Jesus Christ.
Why?
Because I don't want to watch myself try. Because I just look like a dad at a fucking Make-A-Wish camp. Duff and Slash and Dave Kushner and Frankie Perez.
How did that come to be?
Dave Kushner was a Velvet Revolver and is now an incredible composer for film and television. He composed everything for Episode Family. Yes, the cartoon. So he is a really big-hearted guy, a big family guy. I'm really good friends with him. And like I become, he's one of those people. When I became friends with him, I became a good person. I like how he lives his life, you know. So he was, hey, you know, because my kids' school, they go, we're doing like a fundraiser, so I'm gonna put together a band, and it was like, it was the rehearsal band. He didn't let me know Duff and Slash were coming. That was the job. So I was gonna play Highway to Hell, right? ACDC song. So we went up. We rehearsed during the day, and everything went great. And he goes, all right, cool. All right, we'll play the song tonight. Okay, fantastic. So I come back at night. So it's my turn to go up on drums, and I'm thinking, like, I was watching, like, remember I was late in the show. It made no sense to me. I was like, why would you get the stupid comic out of the way early? Why would you put it way late? And like, remember the drummer was playing the Blue Man Group. It was a fucking beast. He was playing the Who, all this Keith Moon shit. I'm like, I can't fucking wait. So it was like towards the end of the night. So they bring me up on stage. I'm so, like, I made sure I got on stage before he even introduced me to the song. Just like something else. As I sit down, I see the bass player, the guitar player leaving, and then Duff and Slash come up on stage, and I'm telling you, like,
kind of leaned over and said, "Hey, man." Slash is there. And I was like, and Dave just turned around and laughed at me because I had that look on my face of like, what the fuck? And before I could even think anything, like Slash starts because it starts with the guitar. Da-da-da, da-da-da. And like for the whole first verse, I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't believe it. And it ended up going great. I don't think I fucked up. And it ended. I got off and I got to meet the guys. It was fantastic. And I remember it was the most rock and roll thing I ever did. And then I immediately did the least rock and roll thing, was I got in my Prius and I drove down the hill as I was screaming. So I go to the store to go smoke a cigar with some buddies of mine. I remember I got out of the car and I'm literally flying. I couldn't believe it happened. And I get out of the car and the guy was, he goes, "Hey Bill, you want to do a spot?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm not fucking that up. I'm not going to go up here and then have a mediocre. I'm going to ride this as long as I can." And I stayed back there, and like during the time I was telling the comics that it happened, he sent me the video, and they watched it. They were like, "What the fuck?" It was the greatest night of my life, and I stayed up till like 3 in the morning. So at 3 in the morning, I get back in my Prius, and as I'm driving out, I'm stopping looking for traffic, and this gorgeous woman comes up to my passenger window and knocks on the window. I'm like, "Oh, could my night get any better?" She's a big fan, right?
You think you're amusing, don't you?
No, I put the window down and she stuck her head and she was hammered. She goes, "Are you Enrique, my Uber driver?" And I fucking like paused and she took in my Irish features. I'm not an Enrique, and I just go, no, I'm not. And she laughed and I laughed, and it was just like, boom. I turned back into a pumpkin, and I was a dad in a fucking, actually I wasn't a dad before then, but whatever. I was just some guy in his 40s in a Prius, and I fucking laughed the whole way home. And I really took that as like something from the universe. Like, all right, come back down. You know, don't be walking around like.
We'll have in post. We'll have showed the audience this tape. We won't do it in front of you, but
Yeah.
what a great story! What a great moment! And
yeah, so I've had I've done that a couple of times where I've gotten to play, you know, with some just insane people, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but it's happened.
Do you fly yourself to gigs in a helicopter?
No, there's just too many, like, I mean, I've done it a couple of times, but it's just like going all the way up there, pre-flighting it, you know, doing all of that shit. By the time you land it, you know.
I would have thought you would have done that at Fenway. You would have landed. What an entrance, like the Beatles.
I mean, also, like, what an asshole. I mean, it's like, aren't you doing, like, enough? I mean, but having said that, like, as far as like a performer not having to deal with traffic, I mean, that's fucking amazing. But my thing now is I've been flying around the LA basin for the longest time. I was trying to go like up to like wine country and stuff like that. And it's just gorgeous flying up, you know, past Santa Barbara and Santa Ynez up to Paso Robles and all that. It's gorgeous.
How fast does that? How long does it take to fly? How fast does that helicopter go per hour?
I mean, the fastest ones I think are only 130 knots. We're not anywhere near as fast as a plane because
I don't know what knots. How about what's that in miles per hour?
It depends on what the wind is doing. That's all that weird shit because you could be doing 120 knots. It's reading that, but you got an 80 knot headwind. So cars are passing you on the ground. That's the fucking worst day ever. That's the worst day ever when the cars are going faster than you. Back in the day when I was training in those little R22s, you're like this little fucking egg beater, and you just be looking down, seeing the same car the whole way. It's like I thought the point of this was that it was faster. So you know, if you got like a tailwind or something, I mean, it's over like 100 miles an hour or whatever. It's kind of hard to answer that question because that's really what all flying is just little adjustments to whatever the wind is doing.
And is your wife and kids, are they happy to fly with you, or are they scared?
I've never flown with them. I don't do that.
Oh, really? You've never?
Because you're scared?
Huh?
Because you're scared?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going all in like fucking here comes the river, you know, like the World Series of Poker.
Oh my God.
No, but there's this sort of, I feel like there's an unwritten rule in private aviation. It's either I just go or we all go. seems to kind of be like the thing. Like either I'm gonna solo this thing or fly with friends. But if we're going, you know, everybody's gonna die, so nobody has to.
That's a rule.
There's a happy ending.
I know, but you know something? It's an incredibly safe hobby. It's just that people like you don't think when you get in a car I could die today. You just don't.
I do.
You just don't think it.
I do.
I give you don't.
I do.
You do.
Yeah, but I have anxiety.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree.
All right. So then what? Because I never think that. I never think when I get in my car I could die. Every time I go to fly a helicopter, I get this feeling in my stomach, like, dude, you know, like, be on point. You know, and I go through all this whole mental checklist in my head of what I'm about to go do. I go through the whole flight in my head. I look at the wind. I look at all of that shit, the weather. You know, wherever I'm going, and I just make sure. And then I also do, you know, auto rotations a lot, which is
we don't know what that
is. It's a simulated engine failure.
Here's my thing. I'm scared of flying, especially helicopters.
Right.
And I know everyone can tell me over and over again, way safer than driving, like way less chance of accidents happening. But the thing is, if there is some kind of accident and you're up there, the chances of surviving are way less than if you're on the ground and there's an accident. No?
Well, cars are really safe, so that might be true. That might be true.
Okay, well there you go.
No, but here's the thing: the odds of it happening, I think, helicopters and airplanes are infinitely more maintained. You don't do any.
You would hope.
No, you do. Yeah. There's jerk-offs. There's always jerk-offs.
Where do you keep your helicopter?
At an airport. I'm not gonna say where, but
no. But with a company that maintains it, or do you maintain it, or do you do work on it?
I have a mechanic that maintains it.
Because we had Jeff Dunham on here, who builds his own helicopter.
Yeah, now see that guy's next level. That guy's a fucking genius.
He is. He builds puppets and helicopters.
I
don't know that.
You know what I didn't realize?
What?
Is if you went to a store and bought a puppet and put different clothes on it, and you got famous off of it, the company that made the puppet can claim.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. That's why he started making his own.
And he got like the 3D screen and that giant microwave that bakes the thing, and then he like paints it. Dude, I mean, that guy's amazing. He's like that guy is like beautiful mind, like genius level guy.
He really is. Really is.
I saw some documentary on him, and I was just going like, this is unfucking believable.
Yeah, I become friendly with him, and he blows me away every time I talk to him about what he's done, and he's kind of humble about it. But I went to his place to see where he builds his puppets, and there's 3 helicopters, or there's, you know, he's not too far from here, he's a couple blocks from here, and he builds and works on his own helicopters, which would, you know, I took flying lessons. I tried to be a pilot, and the teacher told me that I don't have the attention span. Look, even in the middle of that story, I went away. So.
Well, I have ADD, but I don't up there.
I do. And I'm colorblind.
ADD to me is when I'm bored.
Well, I got bored up there.
If I'm doing something where I could die, I mean, like if I ride a motorcycle or something like that, I'm fucking, you know.
Do you ride a motorcycle?
I did back in only for like I got a license and I rode it for 6 weeks and it was too dangerous out here, and I just rode one for the first time in like 11 years, but I rode it on a track, so there was, you know.
Fast? How fast did you go?
No, just like
140 knots.
No. No, it was like whatever. It was like I love machines. They fascinate me. I'm not good at working on them or anything, but like the physics of them and how they work, and like I'm into racing and all of that type of stuff. Just sort of like, you know.
Helicopters are cool though.
They are.
Yeah, I used to fly in them a lot. I liked being in them. I liked that feeling of just dangling, and then I got scared when too many people I know had accidents. So be careful.
All right. Well, shit.
Well, everybody knows. It just seems like more dangerous than an airplane.
Okay.
You figure if your engine stops...
Is it? You would know. You would know. Is it?
No, because there's all of this... It's like... it's like a political debate. It's just like both sides are just yelling at each other, like, planes are safe, and they're just like... And then cars versus that, it's just like, well, there's, you know, bigger chance of dying in a car because there's way more fucking cars. And then we go, well, yeah, you're also... Like, when I'm up there flying, there's nobody near me. You're driving down the highway, it's like you're in the Blue Angels, flying in formation with people that in states where weed is legal, they're fucking high, they're looking at their phones. I will say, the amount of times that I've soloed, landed on the pad, tucked it away, had no problem, and then got on the highway like, what the fuck? And some guy hits, you know.
But I'm talking fixed wing versus a helicopter. If they both have an engine failure, what would you rather be in?
Listen, I'm not going to get dragged into your guys' anxieties.
I'm sorry.
Just, like, not have a good time with my hobbies, okay? You know what you guys should? Is it actuary? Who are the guys who just try to figure out the probability of that?
Actuary.
You guys should have done that. Should have been your calling.
Well, we were hoping you would do it and we would save some money, but you won't do that for us. You are an amazing...
I have a question. You said that you decided, you know what you're not good at, therefore you didn't waste your time on it and you're not going to move forward with it. Do you think that you'll do the same thing with your kids? Let's say your kids have a hobby and they're interested in something. If they're not good, are you going to tell them like, maybe this isn't for you?
No.
I can't wait to see you at a dance recital.
No, that's.
I went to a lot of dance recitals. It's a fucking
No, I was
nightmare.
good at dance. I was good at dance.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
No, that's their journey. So you should try not to like get in the way of it. So my thing is to expose them to a bunch of stuff that I like. If they're into it, okay, you know, and just I don't know. Yeah, I think a lot of the things that I'm going to tell them is the stuff that I told you guys. I won't say that God's a cunt, but I'll
How do you say that to the kids?
But I will tell them, like, don't let organized religion ruin your life and fill you with all of these fears and like, you know, it's funny. I was just talking to this comic the other day, and somehow we were talking about like award shows and all of that. I mean, don't get caught up in any of that shit. That's all fucking. It's all bullshit. It doesn't mean anything, and it's like, you know, the number one thing you have to protect is saying what you want to say. That's what's going to make you feel good at the end. If you start rounding off the edges so you can win the fucking shiny thing, like, I mean, for some people maybe that works, but the number one thing you have to protect is that voice in your head of what you want, what makes you feel good, and when you don't like what somebody else is doing. That's basically it. You got to protect that thing and everything else. What kind of an adult wants to win a trophy? It's just the funniest fucking thing. Like, what
Well, you said we're all still the kids that we were back when we were kids, so maybe it's still those kids that want to win the trophy.
You always got a trophy. We make it important. We made it important. Raising our children and the people who raised us made it important.
Still
They gave us
those little kids that
ribbons.
never
They give
got
us and now this generation even got a trophy for participating. Right.
Oh, that. Yeah, but they get blamed for it, but we came up with it. We came up with it because we lost, and we remembered what it felt like. So it came from a place of love. And
right.
And we did it, and we did it to them, and now we're doing like what God does. Like, he makes like a pedophile, right? And
whoa. This is taking another
And then
turn.
he blames the victims for their fucked up lives afterwards, and it's just like, we're doing the same thing. We're like, stick with me on this.
I'm trying.
So we make this participation trophy out of love because we don't want any kid feel like they're not winners. And then when they end up being soft, we then yell at them for being soft. That's what I'm saying. That's like what God does. He makes fucking serial killers and fucked up people that hurt people, and then the damaged people are now fucked up, and then they hurt more people, and then you die, and then he judges you like, what the fuck? And it's just like, well, if you worked a little harder and made some better people.
It's full circle.
What was your question?
Listen,
how are you going to raise your kid?
Is it that you don't like what I'm saying, and you're acting like you don't know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
I know.
Oh my God!
What?
Bob's Big Boy, is he down the fucking street, but he's actually right here? Is that a hologram?
It is a hologram. That's a guy named Cookie who does art, and he made that for me. That's actually Bobby's idea of Bobby's World. I also did an animated show.
I know you did.
For family.
Because that was the thing. When I was pitching an animated show, no one was doing one. And I kept saying, I'm like, Bill Cosby did one? Howie Mandel? Your company, right?
The rapist, the Jew.
Yeah.
And it's all our fault because we got
that's
trophies.
What this city was built on. Rapists and Jews. Yeah.
Rapists and Jews.
Yeah.
But who created them all? The cunt.
The cunt.
Wow. This is like this is a beautiful afternoon, and you know what even makes it more special that I get to spend it with my daughter.
just spending time.
You
with
guys
my
have a wonderful relationship, and I feel the love between the two of you.
We actually do. We actually do. And you know what? I feel when you said, out of everything that we talked about, when you said the goal is to go home and sit on that back porch and look at your kids in the pool, that kind of sums who you are, what's important to you, and where your heart is. And I think that's the thing that I respect most about everything I've seen and heard and experienced with you. That kind of tells me what kind of human being, and ultimately what kind of a human being you are supersedes what trophies you won, what success you have, how much cash you have in the bank, and how infamous you could possibly be.
Or illuminous.
Illustrious.
Illustrious, sorry.
Illuminous is, what is illuminous? I don't even
that's
know
what I thought illustrious was, like it was a light.
What is illustrious? We didn't even look
I
that
did
up.
tell you.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay, I'll go back.
Can it end on a defined?
Illustrious is well known, respected, and admired for past achievements.
Not for anything you're doing right now.
I like how you grew up out here and you have like East Coast jaded, like you feel like you've dealt with the Four Seasons.
She's had it rough. She grew up with me as a dad.
Illuminous is
She didn't have it
obsolete,
easy. They went
bright,
to public.
clear.
They went to public school.
Doesn't obsolete mean like it's outlived its usefulness?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Bright and clear.
You're a teacher.
I mean,
show us what you do. You know, she's a teacher.
Kindergarten. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know. We actually finished the podcast.
Oh, we did. Okay.
You know, I think we did. How do you feel?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I think this was. I felt bad the last time you were on.
Why?
Were you annoyed by my friend Lou?
No, I loved him.
Me too. But I got killed in the comments to go to say.
You don't read
They
the
thought-
comments.
He does.
I do.
He cares about what people think.
Well, I cared about what they said, and they
He
said
cares about what they say about him.
no.
They thought that he was rude to you.
That's what I cared about. I don't care if you write and you
Yeah.
say you don't give a fuck about me and you hate what I do. I don't really care because I know who I am. But when they wrote that no, I don't. I know who I am. If you don't like me, you don't like me.
It sounded like a monologue from a soap opera. You say whatever you want, but I know who I am.
and then you hold as they go to commercial. But
you look out, or we turn around, you look out the window.
Is that what they do?
There was a comedian, John Bush, had a great bit about that.
I never heard that. But my point was, I'll tell you why I felt bad. I did read the comments, and people said I was disrespectful of you. So if you felt disrespected, then that's what I feel. I feel bad if you felt like I disrespected you by having you.
If I felt disrespected by you, I would have said something to you.
Well, you didn't say anything to me, and you left. And the next time I asked you to do the podcast, you said no because it's a hologram.
That's not what happened.
But I felt bad, and I just want to tell you.
That's not what happened. We'll be right back with That's Not What Happened.
Did you know he was a singer?
No.
I only sing when people are lying to me.
Is that another hobby that you decided you weren't that good at?
Am I lying to you? I don't think I'm lying to you. I know
you said, hey, I'm in Montreal.
Right.
I'm going to be there when you're there. Do you want to do my podcast?
Right.
And I said, yes. That's what you said.
Right.
Yeah. And then I showed up and you go, now here's the thing. I'm not going to fucking be there. I'm like, what do you mean you're not going to be there? And he's like, oh, I'm all nervous about COVID. It's like, well, so am I. I showed up. Hey, we're going to go to war together, but you're actually going to be there with the bullet zipping by your head, and I'm going to be fucking here in this mirror. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. But I also thought that you were going to be like projected down from like a flashlight, like in My Favorite Martian or something.
Would it have made a difference if you knew what the hologram was? Would you have shown up if you knew that it was?
It probably wouldn't have, because I didn't like that he wasn't honest from the beginning. He didn't say, he did that thing like, he gave me like,
So then I did disrespect.
But they didn't see that.
I thought it was because of that.
They don't see what you're like when the cameras are off.
I'm a liar.
Look,
so then I apologize if I didn't mean to.
Do you think I actually, after I just said I'm not doing that, I just moved on with my life? I wasn't sitting there like that hologram motherfucker.
Do you know what he ended up doing? He ended up having my brother just going into the hallway and pulling comics, saying, "Oh, my dad is a huge fan. He wants to say hi to you." And then they'd come into the room and there would just be the hologram machine, and they're like, "What's this?" and then they were forced to do a podcast.
A lot of angry people.
Yeah.
Go look at that episode. It says how he crashes a comedy. Every comedian I'm talking to is really angry.
What is going on? Yeah.
I thought you were fucking here.
Yeah.
See, and that would have been me.
Yeah.
That would have been me. They were saying everything. Yeah, I thought you.
And
were
it's
here.
an episode that has probably the lowest count I've had in the 2 years that I've been on as a podcast.
Well, next time I go to Montreal, if you want to beam in,
I will always. You know what I loved? I love that you were honest with me. You were like a straight shooter. You are. I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid. So I don't. You're right. I don't think I
attract what you fear. So if somebody is acting like that and you don't do anything, then they just get more and more in your life like a virus. You just have to fucking. How many people do you need in your life? 3, 4, beyond your family?
Well, there's more than that in my family. Oh, beyond the family.
Yeah.
I just don't need. I'm afraid of negative energy. Is what I'm afraid of. And there's a lot of it out there. And I think just by virtue of what we do, we attract negative energy, right? So I'm afraid of that. Because I'm like a fucking magnet. I'm like a magnet, so that negative energy sends me into tailspins. So the fact that I thought that they convinced...
I don't think you're a magnet. I think you're in here.
I am, and that's a problem. Am I medicated?
That makes you think that you are.
But that's why I need...
with John Lennon glasses. Walking down the street.
People tell me that it looks like they look like condom rims. These are actually my own line of glasses.
So if you want condom rim glasses too.
All my glasses. I have my own line of glasses. But I do overthink, and I really, and I was afraid to say it.
Those look like the glasses Dustin Hoffman had in Papillon.
That's the second 60-year-old movie you've brought up in the last hour.
That is a fucking incredible movie. I stand by it. Steve McQueen, Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, that's amazing. And why do you bring that up? Are you trying to escape from here? No. Okay. See how I take things? I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive. I'm overly sensitive. But I love you.
That means self-image.
Yes. Yes. And now I'm afraid that you all think I'm this is like my worst.
No, it's been fun. Everybody liked it.
How do you know? Have you read the comments?
Land the plane. Don't.
Here's what I want to say, not only to you, but to you. I respect this guy, and if I do anything that could be construed as disrespect, it was done unintentionally. And I love you. I love what you stand for.
Yeah, I knew that you were a germaphobe lunatic. I couldn't believe that you were going to be up there. I should have known there was going to be some sort of Star Trek shit going on. I'll take some of the blame for that.
I sent my kids. My son was there dragging people in.
Oh, God, that's like some Succession shit. I'm not going in there, but I will send my children.
It's like Sophie's Choice. I sent Alex.
It was more like Howie's choice, and Howie chose himself.
I did. I wish you nothing but success. All the things that we're not allowed to talk about, I hope they are incredible successes.
I feel the same.
When I'm allowed to, I will do whatever I can. You send me stuff, I will post it.
One quick regret I have.
It.
When we did that fucking COVID room, and we were in the round, and you came up, and we started talking to each other, I got off stage out of respect for you, and all the comments were like, "Oh my God, I thought you two guys were going to start riffing up there."
Where?
When we were,
Oh, Bob Saget?
No, not Bob Saget. The
Bob Saget thing, you just remember. Bob Saget that night you got up with, you were hysterical with Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Chappelle called you up. Bob Saget has a Scleroderma, which was a funny, weird night. I don't know if you remember, but some woman that was giving away like a Michelin, she's a Michelin chef, and she was giving away a dinner, and they were auctioning it off, and the money would go to do scleroderma, and she ended up speaking. She goes, "I don't have anybody in my family," and scleroderma is you die from it, but it shows up on your. I think everything turns to calcifies, your organs and your skin, and it's kind of an ugly disease. And she said, "Listen, I've never had anybody in my family or a friend that had scleroderma, but I grew up when I had eczema, so I kind of know." Do you remember she said that? Do you remember she said that? And then I went up, and my whole routine was about like there's not enough of a spotlight put onto eczema.
Oh my God! Wait, was I there? That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last year?
Yeah, and then Chappelle went on after me, and he called you up on stage, and you guys were reminiscing, and it was You were. It was an
Thank God, I was stone sober. Thank God, because if I was still drinking, I would have been, a couple drinks in, and that wouldn't have gone that well.
But you killed it. You killed it. The improv and the moment. It was like you were the highlight of the evening. That was an amazing, amazing moment, and just the brilliance. Just
thank you.
Shone on you that night. But what were you talking about when we were in a
I was saying, so people were,
what's it
called? Supernova, that one in the parking lot.
Oh,
people
yeah,
Then the comments going, I thought you guys were going to improv. And I was thinking, do you think you would have done that with me?
I would have loved to.
All right, well, no, okay. All right, that's good to know. All right.
So if you ever want that, I don't have the psyche to, like if I go, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr, I brought you up, right?
No, I brought you up.
You brought me up. So it would not matter.
But I felt your energy. The energy was like, do you want it? And I was like, is it okay? But all that unspoken thing, and I was just like, it's fucking Howie Mandel. I mean, I know he's got stuff to say. I don't want to like feel like I'm so sponging off.
You're in your head, and that's always been your problem. Thank you. You noticed it. Why the fuck are you so sensitive?
I have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah. Well, you gotta
From
get
my
over it.
past.
These fucking bald, anxious guys, I can't stand them. But I would never want to, say, hey, stay here, like, and I don't want to infringe on your time. And if I brought you up, or you brought me up, I just don't want to take your space and your time to shine.
That's
but
how
I would.
we felt about you.
Sharing a stage with you would be a highlight. It really would, even if it went badly for me. It'd be high, because that's kind of fun. And then,
no, it is. What last thing you want to do as a comedian is your act, right? It's
absolutely.
Just like,
absolutely.
I
love you, buddy. So anytime, are you doing those local gigs? The other day I saw your name up on the Comedy Store, and then you weren't there. You weren't there, right? What night did we see his name?
Oh yeah. No, there was I put it down. I came down the wrong. Oh my god. I came down the wrong night. So listen to this shit. I go down the wrong night, and I come walking in, and the host is like, "Oh dear," and I'm like, "What?" And she's just going like, "This is like a benefit," and I'm like, "All right." And she said for like battered women, and I'm like, well, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm fine. I'm right. She goes, you're supposed to come down tomorrow night. This is like a benefit, for battered women. And I was like,
you don't want to talk about the cunt.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll be fine. I go, whatever, I'll just do tonight. So I went out there, and I was doing my shit, and then I just kept teasing them about getting,
battered.
No, I was just saying, you guys getting shit and thrown around the room. I was like you, and I just kept making that, and it wasn't getting the laugh I thought it was going to get. And then finally, someone at the end just goes, we're not battered. We're alcoholics. I had heard it the wrong way, and I go, oh, you guys are a bunch of drunks, and then they laugh. You're my people. I thought you guys.
Funny.
Yeah, because I think
the host didn't know that they were.
No. I just was once she went like, oh my god, like oh no, whatever she said. I just my ears closed up. I couldn't. But I and she was all worried. She said it was a benefit, so I just immediately thought, well, it's got to be something for women. And they're worried I'm going to say some misogynistic shit if it's like a feminist thing. So I don't know what I heard. I play drums and fly helicopters, so I don't know what the fuck I heard.
That's like a great Theo Von story, which I talked to him about. You know Theo?
Yes.
Theo, one of the funniest stories I've ever heard is years ago, he got asked to host a benefit for Kirk Douglas. Remember Kirk Douglas?
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of his life, Kirk Douglas had a stroke.
Yep.
And Kirk Douglas, for younger people, was a movie star of the 40s and 50s. Michael Douglas is his son. And
Ben-Hur?
Yeah, Ben-Hur. And do you know this story?
No, but this is riveting. The second I hear that this comedian has a great story about, and it's a benefit, I know that there's endless stories about comedians at benefits.
Well, he got the message to show up at the Beverly Hills Hotel on his answering machine.
Stuffy crowd.
And he heard, we want you to roast this benefit for Kirk Douglas.
Not host.
Not her host. He heard roast. And, they, first Kirk Douglas went up to thank everybody for being there, and he's, incredibly impaired. He couldn't speak.
Oh, God.
And then Theo Von went up to host and goes, what kind of fucking movie star? He can't even, there's no consonants. He has no consonants. Everything's I, you. Like, what is this? And what's her name that was Norma Ray? Who played Norma Ray?
Sally Field.
Ran up on stage, pulled him off the stage. Said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they had him leave the building.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he said his career went into the toilet for like a month after that. It's a great story. Ask him if you ever bump into him. He'll tell. I think he's told the story.
He has.
That
we did an
happened
episode here.
to him, and I'm mortified. I'm just like vicariously living through that, and like Sally Field, I love Sally Field, and I'm like, and she's like, would be upset with you, like. What
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck?
he told the story on my podcast.
I gotta watch
Theo
that.
Vaughn. Watch. It's like he's really serious about it. But
Can
anyway.
you just fucking die already?
Anyway, you were great.
Wait, was Michael there? That's
Yeah,
an intimidating dude, man. Michael Douglas is the man.
We didn't talk about Michael, but why? Have you met him and been intimidated by him?
No, I just, that guy's like, you know, all the way back to Streets of San Francisco was when I first saw him. I mean, he's always, you know, picked great projects, and I think
you know what's weird? I did St. Elsewhere in the 80s, and my boss, the executive producer, was Bruce Paltrow. And then Bruce Paltrow is Gwyneth Paltrow's father, who I've known since she was like 10 years old and before she was an actress. And then Bruce Paltrow ran Michael Douglas's company before Bruce Paltrow passed away of throat cancer. But before that, he ran Michael Douglas's movie company. He was his development executive and directed some movies. And I always thought it was weird. There was one movie where Gwyneth Paltrow was Michael Douglas's love interest, where he was, you know, intimate.
Jeez, this took a fucking left turn. I was just trying to say I like Michael Douglas. Now we're into. Oh, you Hollywood people. You Hollywood.
All I'm saying is don't cast Jackie in any of your movies where you're both going to be naked on screen and have me produce it. That's all I'm saying. Go to HowieMandel.com, subscribe, comment, buy the merch. Go to Bill. I did go to Bill
Theo Vaughn, and he's got that southern accent. It's like, oh, this guy's gonna be all wholesome and stuff. Like, hey, how you all doing? Jesus Christ, how fucking old is this son of a bitch?
You're going to be in Czechoslovakia when?
In September.
Okay, so check that out.
Check
that out.
Got it?
Dad jokes.
We're both dads.
Yeah.
We are dads. We should be telling dad jokes. That's what we said.
It's too bad.